Welcome back, my Duelist friends. Casual Duelist here, and doing a bit different today and tomorrow. So I do hope that you guys enjoyed our Pokemon deck list, fresh from 1999, early 2000. And today we're doing a viewer submission. One I didn't have all the cards for, so we did plug a lot of them into this game, so this way we could show them off. So we got two of them. We'll be doing the other one tomorrow. Today is going to be from Thrifty Guy, and I did say that I would mention his TikTok for him. So if you look at the top right of the screen, you'll see I misspelled TikTok because I don't know. But it is tiktok.com/ad_thrifty_guy_, and he brought us a perfect casual build for ancient gears. So let's talk about his deck. First, it's missing two cards because they were just not available in this version of Duel Links. And those cards would be two copies of the Grave Digger's Trap Hole, just a normal trap card. And what it does is when your opponent activates a monster effect in their hand or in the graveyard, or when your opponent's banished monster effect is activated, you can negate the effect, and if you do, then inflict 2,000 damage to the opponent. Again, I get it, kind of good, but a little silly. But that's perfect for a casual build. So, going real quick, we're using, so this would be a 43 card main deck. He was using one copy of the Ancient Gear box. If added from the deck or grave to hand except drawing, add one Earth Machine with 500 attack or defense from deck to hand except same name, effect once per turn. So that's pretty cool. Three copies of the Engineer. You guys might remember this guy from Speed Duel recently. Negate any trap effects that target this card. If you do, destroy that trap card. When this card attacks, the opponent cannot activate spell traps until the end of the damage step. And then at the end of the damage step, if this card did attack, target a spell trap that the opponent controls and destroys said target. Only offset by the fact that it is a level 5, but again, there are multiple ways to get around that, especially when you're playing in the advanced version of Yu-Gi-Oh! Next up, he's using two copies of the Ancient Gear frame. Ancient Gear frame says that you can discard a card, add one Ancient Gear Golem or one spell trap that specifically lists Gear Golem in its text from the deck to the hand. You may only use this effect once per turn. If this card attacks, your opponent cannot activate spell traps until the end of the damage step, as per Ancient Gear, in general. If this face-up card in its owner's control leaves the field because of an opponent's card effect, you can special summon up to 3 Gear Golem and or Ancient Gear Golem Ultimate Pound from hand, ignoring summoning conditions. So again, this is a very good card to trigger. It does remind me of Machina Gear frame a little bit. And this is definitely searchable off the box because of our 500 defense value. We are also going to be using just two copies of the regular Ancient Gear Golem, which is fine. And again, you guys know this. It's the same thing, cannot be special summoned. If it attacks, cannot activate spell traps till the end of the damage step. And if it battles defense monsters, can inflict piercing. So again, very standard, very good card. Another searchable character would be our Gear Knights. And again, 4-star 1800. It is a Gemini, just on the second normal summon, gains the effect where the opponent cannot activate any of the spell traps until the end of the damage step. My buddy was using a single copy of the Ancient Gear Reactor Dragon. Again, kind of a cool card. If this is tribute summoned by tributing an Ancient Gear monster, attacks a defense position monster, then you can inflict piercing. That's great. If this card was tribute summoned by tributing a gadget, it can make a second attack during each battle phase. Obviously, if you use one gadget and one Ancient Gear, you're going to get both of these. It's going to swing twice with piercing. That's cool. If this card attacks, your opponent's spell traps and monster effects cannot be activated until the end of the damage step. At the end of the damage step, if this card attacked, you may destroy one spell trap on the field. So again, the Reactor Dragon has just this laundry list of cool effects. It gets the full boss value of the 3,000 by 3,000, which is neat. It's just an all-around good card. And again, I personally, Thrifty, I think that you do have too many things going on at once for this to be proper great. But I do get it. I get it. As far as casual decks go, this is actually very fun. Single copy of your soldier. Again, just the basic effect. 1 attacks. Opponent cannot activate the spell traps. 2 copies of the wyvern, however you guys want to pronounce it. I've definitely heard this one multiple ways based on region. If this card is normal or special summon, you can add an Ancient Gear card from deck to hand except same name. Also, you may not set cards for the remainder of the turn. So again, it's got a little bit of a drawback, but it's still good. You can only use this effect once per turn. If this card attacks, your opponent's monsters may not activate their effects until the end of the damage step. So a little bit different of a take, but still some good power and some good strength. Dread Dynamo. While you control a gadget, gains 2k. I get it. It's just like a cheap thing. But again, you didn't play too many gadgets. You've only got a single copy of each of the originals. And this would definitely be one of those decks where if I was to change this, what I would do is I would probably go ahead and I'd mess with the Reactor Dragon. Just make that my big boss. Doesn't mention that anywhere on it. Defense is too good. So I'd probably be playing 3 wyverns, 3 dragons. And then Gearbox can't summon that or add it. So I mean, it's debatable what I'd play from there. Maybe just some of the knights. And then I'd just play some basic stuff, you know, shrinks, lost winds, anything that really gets you advantage while allowing you to play the gadgets for their regular strategies. And then, you know, just going on into everything else. So again, that'd probably be where I'd be at. And I'd just be trying to give the Reactor Dragon its abilities with the yellow gadget. So you still might see me play the Trip Gear Towns with the Trip Magical Hats. Let's get into your spells though. You do have an Ancient Gear Castle. Love this card. All Ancient Gears gain 300 attacks. Everybody gets a little buff. So if we are playing the wyverns are 2k. We're playing the knights are 21. The Reactor Dragon 3300. Regular Gear Golem 3300. Good all around. Every time a monster is normal summoned or set, place a counter on this. Doesn't need to be Ancient Gears, just has to be a monster. Place a counter on this. If you tribute summon an Ancient Gear monster face up, you can tribute this card instead, with its counters being equal to or greater than required tributes. So as long as you got 2, you can summon anything in the deck. It's perfect. Next, you're playing a couple catapults, and again, this is one of those cards I just didn't have. So I felt it would be better to kind of do this here. While you control no monsters, target a face-up card that you control and destroy it. If you do, special summon 1 Ancient Gear monster from the deck, ignoring its summoning conditions, which again can be pretty amazing. You can banish this card from your graveyard, target a face-up card you control, destroy it, and if you do, special summon an Ancient Gear token, which is different. You can only use 1 effect per turn and only once that turn, but I get it. We're going to use the first effect. We want to pop something small, go into something big. Again, if we're playing gadgets, you guys have seen what I can do with the gadgets. We can make a fairly large play really quickly. And all we can do is we can kind of bounce off of that into the larger monsters by being able to summon our Reactor Dragon, whatever we want. And again, it does say with ignoring the conditions. So again, this could be regular Ancient Gear Golem. And if you've got a couple other Ancient Gear stuff, you can go with the Ancient Gear Fusion, get into your giant fusion monsters, and really start benefiting yourself from the beginning. So that's very good. We're going to check out the Gear Drill. If you control a Gear monster, discard a card, set a spell from the deck. This card cannot be activated this turn. So again, if you've got a quick play that you want to play, or you really want them to destroy the Gear Town or something, this could be a perfect setup. You got the explosives, target an Ancient Gear monster that you control, destroy it if you do inflict damage to the opponent equal to half of the original attack. Again, personally, I would remove these. I would put in something a little more stable. Doesn't even matter what. But I get it. When you're playing casual, a little bit of an end game condition. Definitely fun for the table. So I get it. The Gear Fist, and I think this is the only equipment in this deck. Equip only to a gear monster at the end of damage. If it battles an opponent's monster and is still on the field, destroy the monster it battled. So again, for anything that would be in a casual setup like Spirit Reaper, Marshmallow, something that just had better defense than your attack position monster card. Again, this really helps you kind of clear the field. Ancient Gear Fusion, you guys kind of remember this from Speed Duel, being one of our skill cards. Fusion summon an Ancient Gear Fusion monster from the extra deck using monsters from hand and field as material. If you use Golem or Gear Golem Pound as material, you may also use monsters from the deck. And this is what I was saying with the Catapult, just being able to speed up how quick we can play the Ancient Gear Golem. Can definitely go into big, high-level fusion boss monsters almost right off the rip. So, fantastic. And of course, Triplicate, because again, while we can search it, and again, this is something that our gear frame can do, it's still best to prioritize a card like this so that we can just go ahead and go for our big plays. Looks like I need to correct myself. There was another equipment, the Ancient Gear Tank. Again, equip only to gear monsters. Gain 600 attack. When destroyed and sent to grave, inflict 600. So again, we're doing a little more, damage, a little direct damage. Just to kind of, again, chip at the opponent. We got the 2 workshops. Target an Ancient Gear in the graveyard, add it to the hand. And again, this is good, and I believe this is one of the ways that you actually want to trigger your gearbox. Because again, if it's added from deck or grave to hand except by drawing, then you can add another card. So by reverse tutoring from our discard pile to get the gearbox, we can go ahead and get the gear frame, summon the gear frame, grab the gear fusion, play the gear fusion after you do something that allows you to go ahead and get your gear golem. And again, what you do there, you get your gear frame to go ahead and grab your catapult, right? Because this could do it on special summon, maybe? No, it's an activatable effect, so you discard a card to trigger. So yeah, discard a card, go ahead, grab your catapult, play your catapult, destroy the gear frame, turn it into a gear golem, then activate the fusion. But again, I think you need to have one of those cards between the gear fusion or the gear catapult already in your hand, because I believe that did say it was a once per turn. It is. So that is, again, it's just fun. 3 future fusions. Again, I think that this one takes away spots that were more useful for other effects for you, but I get it. During the first standby phase after this activation, reveal the fusion monster you would like to play, then send the materials from main deck to grave. Second turn, fusion summon that monster with the same name as the one that you showed. So again, it doesn't need to be the same exact copy. So if you are playing 3 copies in the extra deck, you could show copy 1, summon copy 2 or 3. Doesn't matter. Target it with this card. When this card leaves the field, destroy the target. When the target is destroyed, destroy this card. Again, it's very risky. Twin Twisters, Duster, Lightning Storm, these are all things that can mess you up, that if they aren't in the main build, they will be in the side build. So again, I don't know, I'd probably get rid of these as well. You do have the Gear Towns, good on you there. Quick substitute here would obviously be, since you do run the 3 Gear Towns, run the 3 Magical Hats. Trigger your Gear Towns quicker. You'll be able to summon your Reactor Dragon, but maybe play Gadgetron Dragon too, since you are playing the gadgets, and then increase the gadget plays as well. Gear Town, both players can normal summon Ancient Gear on 1 tribute less. When the card is destroyed inside of the graveyard, special summon a gear from the hand, deck, or grave. Again, you can't play the regular Ancient Gear Golem doing this, because again, Ancient Gear Golem does say that it cannot be special summoned, and this isn't going to say, disregarding summoning requirements. Last 4 cards in the main. Harpy's Duster, you guys know this. 2 spell gears, send 3 Ancient Gear cards that you control to the graveyard, Special summon an Ancient Gear Golem from the hand and 1 from the deck, ignoring the conditions. Then destroy all monsters you control except Ancient Gear Golems. You may not normal summon or set until the end of your next turn. Fine, you're probably using it for a game situation anyway. Again, this could be like Monster Reborn, Called by the Grave. This could be tech cards. Griffin Wing is literally just to counter out Feather Duster, so you can drop this. All it does is look at your opponent, they activate Feather Duster, and you go, no you. So again, not as needed or necessary. I would drop it entirely. But again, as far as a casual main deck, not terrible. Let's check out your extra deck real quick. You do have Howitzer, which is a fusion of any 2 ancient gears, unaffected by other card effects, which is cool. During the main phase, you can inflict 1,000 to the opponent. You can only use this effect once per turn. If this is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon an ancient gear from the deck, ignoring conditions. So again, you summon any 2 low-level cards together, you get this, burn the opponent, watch it get destroyed, and then, of course, it has to be by battle. Effect isn't going to count. But if it does get destroyed by the effect, you could pop into Gear Golem. Good, I like it. We got the Megaton Golem. Any 3 ancient gear monsters, and again, I'm surprised that this is only at 1 as well. But I get it. When it's 3, I get it. 33 by 33, so very tankish. If this card attacks, your opponent cannot activate spell trap cards until the end of the damage step. If this card was fusion summoned using 2 or more Ancient Gear Golem / Gear Golem pounds as material, it can attack up to that many times each battle phase. So between 2 and 3 times bonus by doing this. If this face-up fusion summoned card in its owner's control leaves the field because of an opponent's card effect, you could special summon 1 Ultimate Ancient Gear Golem from the extra deck, ignoring its conditions. And again, this is amazing because we get another Ultimate Ancient Gear Golem straight out of our extra deck. So I do see why he maximized those. Those are 2 more fusions away. Let's talk about the Chaos. Whoop. I'm terrible with this controller. I do apologize. Let's talk about the 2 Chaos Ancient Gear Giants. This is 4 Ancient Gear monsters. And again, this is probably the reason for the the future fusions. Must be fusion summoned and cannot be special summoned any other way, unaffected by spell traps. Any spell traps, which is awesome. Opponent's monster cannot activate their effects during the battle phase. Not just when this attacks, during the whole battle phase. Pretty amazing. This would make a great deck master. This card can attack all monsters your opponent controls once each. So again, since the advent of the extra zone, this means this guy has a potential for 6 attacks while wielding 4,500 attack points. If this card attacks a defense position monster, inflict piercing. So again, just huge, big boss level card. Gotta respect it. And then 3 copies, Ultimate Ancient Gear Golem. 44, just a point shy. Only requires 3 Gear Golem plus 2 Gear monsters. And again, I tend to play this off of the Gear Fusion. Must be fusion summoned if it attacks defense monster, inflict piercing. If it attacks, your opponent can activate spell traps until the end of the damage step. If it's destroyed, target 1 Ancient Gear Golem in your graveyard. Special summon it, ignoring its summoning conditions. I get it though. If the opponent's got big board, you'll want to go into the Chaos Giant, and it's just as easy. So, good stuff. The rest is 2 Xyz and a couple of links. So we got Daigusto Emerald. Nice generic 4. Once per turn, detach material, activate 1 of the following. Baby version of Pot of Avarice. Target 3 monsters in grave, shuffle back to deck, draw 1. Or target a non-effect monster in your graveyard, special summon it. Unfortunately, we're locked into effect 1, but still, this is one of the reasons why Daigusto Emerald was so good to begin with. So we're going to play it. And then you're using the Fairy King Alberdyke. Or Alberdyke. No, I think I said it right the first time. Which is a pretty unusual use. But let's justify it. 2 level 4 Earth. Again, I'm looking at your main deck. It's all Earth. We're good. You can detach 1 Xyz material from this. All non-Earth currently lose 500 attack and defense. Again, we are playing in casual. So again, this card is actually going to be kind of fun. So we're just going to leave it at that. We are using 3 copies of the Ancient Gear Ballista. I believe this came out of Dual Power or Dual Overload, one of those 2 sets. Good Link monster for this deck, kind of brought it into the new age. If this is Link summoned, you could add 1 Ancient Gear monster or Gear Town from deck to hand. So you can target 1 spell trap you control and target 1 monster your opponent controls. Destroy the one that you do to change the opponent's monster to 0. Till the end of the turn, you can only use each effect once per turn. And again, with so many of our big punishing monsters, being able to do piercing, it's a great way to zero out our opponent's hit points. And then last up, you actually do have a platinum gadget in here. Any 2 machines. May not be used as link material. The turn it is link summoned during the main phase. You could special summon one level 4 lower machine from your hand to a zone this points to. If this card is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can special summon one level 4 gadget from the deck. Each effect is once per turn. And again, as far as casual decks go, my friend, this is actually very cool, very fun. But again, there is so much to work on. Even on a casual level, that could bring your gameplay up. Again, I think the future fusions need to go. I think you need to rely on the ancient gear fusions only. Maybe even dropping things like one of these and one ultimate golem, one chaos ancient gear giant. Once you do that, you can invest in Gear Gigan X. Drop a copy of him in here, remove one of these, turn it into another platinum gadget. You could always drop the Utopia stuff in here if you wanted to. You don't have to do that much. It's not that important. Number 60 Dagaris could help you. Number 41 Baguska could be a good optional defensive thing for you to do. I would probably remove the Gear Fist and the Gear Tank. I don't see them doing too much. Same thing with the Explosives and Drill. Maybe add in another Gear Castle as it's situational. I don't mind the workshops, especially when you have Platinum's effect to special summon from the hand on play. This could allow us to recycle. However, a Monster Reborn could do the same job for you while putting the card directly to the field. And again, the way that you have this structured out, Gear Golem's the only one that's not going to play. Again, you guys could put in Gear Golem Pounds. We could drop this down to a single because it's not as important. You could increase the Reactor Dragons because again, if we do substitute the future fusions for the magical hats, we do have the ability to go in straight into Gear Town. I would absolutely rip the Griffin Wing out and put something else in here, maybe Geki. Again, you can have up to 3 Raigekis right now. I probably would get rid of the Spell Gear as well. As fun as that is for casual, it's just not as good. The boot up card, the boot up Admiral of the Dread Dynamo, I'd probably toss him. If you're going to play one, play the big one. The big one does have abilities that allow you to just blow things up. This one is very old school. He's not even from the newer stuff. But there's a ton of stuff you could do. If you're just going to play goofing off with your friends, limiter removal is a great option. Again, you guys could throw in Lost Winds, really stumble the opponent. Infinite Imperms, whatever you like. But I do want to thank you guys for showing up. I did want to practice using video games to do stuff because it's looking to me like we are going to change Monday into Master Duel Mondays. And of course, that is going to start either this next week or the week after. So I'm just getting a little bit of practice getting back into recording this way. And then, yeah, we're going to start doing that like every week. And then, of course, it's going to help with the secondary channel, the Casual Duelist Gaming. And we're going to start off, I think, with Animal Crossing, to be honest. And then maybe rotate between that, Skyrim, and Borderlands. Just because they're all fun games. And I know that I could break the crap out of Skyrim. So, if you guys appreciated this deck, go ahead, thank Thrifty Guy in the comments. Again, this one's not going to be the most competitive. No, we're not going to have test hands, even though we could just simply play the deck. It is missing cards because of the way the parameters for this video game. And again, those were the Gravedigger Trap Holes at 2. I'd probably keep those just because it was fun and off balancing. But if you guys liked this, do the things or don't. Do the one thing that matters to me, guys. Go out, have a wonderful day, and I hope to see you guys again later. Alright, come back again tomorrow. We have another viewer submission. Again, it is missing a couple of cards, but what we're going to do is we'll talk about them in this same style. So, hope to see you then. Later, my friends.